guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. My name is Abigail from my Abigail Apparel. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. Now, if you remember in our last video, I think I took you how to take accurate body measurement. I think that was where we stopped. Now, after taking your client's body measurements, after you've written or after knowing all those details, the next thing for you to know as a beginner, as a fashion starter, is to know your sewing machine tools. That is your sewing machine parts. As a fashion starter, you will require to get one of these. We have different types of sewing machine. We have manual, that is manual sewing machine, that is manual/mechanical sewing type of sewing machine. We have the electronical. So electronical, we have the tabletop, we have the industrial. So I always tell my students to get this first. It is not about maybe somebody is being maybe you don't have money or that. Even if you have money, please, it is always nice for you to get this manual first. Know everything about it. The moment you know it and you can handle this particular sewing machine, you can work with any other type of sewing machine that we have. You can work with tabletop, you can work with industrial sewing machine. So in this particular video, I'll be taking you through the process of how you can peddle, how you can thread your sewing machine, and there are some sewing machine parts like this. What are they called? What are their functions? If you really want to know that, stay tuned to the end of the video. Okay, now the very first part I will be introducing to you is this hand wheel. This is called hand wheel. Now, hand wheel, it moves clockwise. It doesn't move anti-clockwise. What I mean by clockwise and anti-clockwise is that you move this hand wheel to yourself. Do you see? And while moving these hand wheels to yourself, it controls three different parts of the sewing machine. It controls the needle parts. Now, this is the needle. Do you understand? This is the needle holder. This is the needle rod. This part is called the needle rod. And this hand wheel also controls the feed dog, which is popularly known as the teeth of the sewing machine. So you can see the moment I'm doing it is moving. You see? You can see that it's moving. The moment I'm doing it is moving. And as well, it controls machine pedal, foot pedal. It controls the foot pedal. You see? It controls the foot pedal. So hand wheel is one of the most important parts of the sewing machine, that if anything wrong with it, the sewing machine cannot work. So the next particular part I'm introducing to you is called the spoon pin. You can also call it a thread holder. You can call it a thread holder. We put our thread there. Do you see? Call it a spoon pin or a thread holder. Now, the next one I will introduce to you is this. We call it take-up lever or thread lifter. We call it thread lifter or take-up lifter. Do you understand? So it's the one that controls the thread. So when we move, if I try the sewing machine now, you understand what I mean by that. Let me just introduce everything to you for you to know. Now, this particular part is called the thread, guide. The thread guide. This is called thread lifter. This is also called thread guide. Now, this is called tension. This part is called tension. It can be loosened and it can be tightened. Now, this particular one is called presser foot lifter. Now, this part controls the presser foot. This is presser foot. This is a screw. This screw the presser foot to the presser foot lifter. Do you understand? So the moment I raise this up, my presser foot will go up. The moment I put it down, it will be down. Do you understand? Now, the next part of the tool I will introduce to you, this is called a slide plate, and this is called a throat plate. This part is called a throat plate. This is called a slide plate. They are always together. Do you understand? They are always together, protecting the feed dog. They are protecting the teeth of the sewing machine. So this part is called a face plate. This one is called a face plate, and this part is called the bed. So you know, we place our sewing what's it called, our fabric there. If we want to sew, now this is the parts where our fabric is laying while sewing. So now the next one I will introduce to you. I've done this. Okay, called stitch regulator. This is called stitch regulator. We use it to regulate our stitch. Assuming I want my stitches to be big in width, do you understand? I'll put it wherever I want it. Now these numbers ranging from 6 to 30 inches, not inches, 6 to 30. Now the moment the last part is loose stitch, that is, it makes your stitches to be loose. So whereby, assuming we want to do gathers now, so I put my stitch regulator like this. I put it on the last end. So it's because I really want it to be loose so that I'll be able to draw my fabric. So I really want it to be tight. I put it on 7 or 8. As tight as I want, I take it up. Do you understand? So that is how you do that. So, and if I want to reverse, all what I need to do is to bring up my stitch regulator up. Let me do it so that you understand better. Assuming I want to reverse my fabric now, I'll raise this towards my side and start sewing. Then I'll release this up. Do you see? The moment I pick this one up, my footer begins to reverse. So do you understand? So that is the functions of this stitch regulator. Now the next thing for me to do is to thread my sewing machine. Now another thing I want to do is this, my foot. So on my foot parts, the moment I automatically, my down part, that is my machine foot pedal, begins to move. You can see it begins to move. It begins to move automatically. Now what will you do as a beginner? When you not start wheeling like this, you use your leg to pick wherever you are going. So see, let me start all over again. Remember I told you that the hand will control 3 parts, and one of the parts that it controls is the machine foot pedal. Now I will wheel this to my side. Automatically the pedal is moving. The next thing I will do is to pick it up and start sewing. Pick it up and start sewing. I'll pick it up and start sewing. Do you understand? I'll pick it up and start sewing. It is very, very important. As a fashion starter, when you get your sewing machine, these are one of the things that you do first. So it was because I've been sewing, that's why it's very, very easy for me. If you are a beginner, it will not be as easy as this. It will get to a point whereby we go anti-clockwise. The moment this hand will go anti-clockwise, your thread will cut. Please. So when you are moving, keep moving like that. You keep moving like that. Automatically sewing. You understand? And if you want to stop, you don't just stop like this. If you want to stop, you don't just stop like that. All what you need to do is do what? Maybe you are moving, your speed is high. So if I want to stop now, I know where I'm stopping. I'll be releasing the speed little by little, then I stop automatically. Do you understand? Now I will move to how to thread the sewing machine. Now, before I thread my sewing machine, I want to introduce this tool to you. This is a bobbin case, and this is called a bobbin. Now these two tools is popularly known as shuttle and reeler. Now there's a space here. Come closer. There's a space here whereby we use in reeling our, we can reel it manually. This one is no more working again. It's no more working. So you can reel it manually like this. So the moment this click on this, it will hold, and you use your you would have reeled some inside the shuttle like this. but this machine is not working. I think my butterfly over there is working, but I don't want to show you that. Maybe this will be for another day. Now if you want to reel on your, what's it called, all what I need to do is to put it here. Do you see? Let me put it there. I'll put my thread here like this. Then I will be using tiny, I can use this because this part is not more working. I want to some other designer put their thread on the mouth. I don't do that. There is no harm in doing that, but me, I don't like it. I'll just put this on my spoon peel or my thread holder. Then the next thing for me to do is to release that. Then I'll put my shuttle, my reeler inside my shuttle like this, or bobbin inside the bobbin case. Then I'll ensure that the thread comes out. See, the thread comes out on this part. Then I'll move it towards this hole. Do you see? I'll move it towards this hole. So the next thing for me to do is to, I really want you guys to see this. Now I will now put my bobbin case inside the space provided for it. Do you see? Inside the space provided for it. Then after doing that, I will close this back. So I'll close it back. Now, how do I thread my sewing machine? Place your, what's it called, thread on the thread holder. Do you see how far I've gone? Then you come here to the thread guide, enter this tension part. So the essence of this tension is for your thread not to be moving anyhow. So then after that, so the next thing for me to do is to enter here, my thread lifter. So you go in from the back, not from the front. You are going in from the back. Then from there you move towards the thread guide at the side. This is also called, there's also always a thread guide here too, but this one is no more working. So the next thing for me to do is to ensure that my needle is out. If your needle is not out, this hand will control it, so you reel it so that your needle will come out. So then the next thing for me to do is to thread it. So then I will be using my hand nail to pick up my down thread. So the thread that is underneath, this is it, and this is the upper thread. Then I take it up just for it not to be disturbing my fabric. Now, one of the things I want you to notice is this. It is not nice for you to be sewing and be dragging your fabric. It is not nice at all. If you are working with stretchy material, it will make it to be puffy. It will make it to be straight. So because machine has been designed in such a way that the moment you start reeling, the moment you start sewing, it moves by itself. So you don't need to be moving it. You don't need to be, all what you need to be doing is to be using your hand to guide it. You don't need to be pulling it. Don't pull. Do you understand? So all what I'll be doing now, so remember what I told you, and when you want to start up your stitches, you lock up your stitch, then you start moving. So see what I've got. My sewing machine is working. So according to the stitch regulator that I want, I have put it there. See, you can see that this is bigger. So you can see that this is bigger. If I want it to become, I want it to be a tinier stitch, I'll move my stitch regulator up a bit. Maybe I'll put it on 8. So then I'll start sewing again. You can see that that one will be tinier. This is tinier compared to this. You can see that this is tinier compared to this. You can see that this is tinier compared to that. Now, the next thing for me to do, I think by then, so you can see I'm not touching it. It's moving by itself. If there's nothing wrong with your teeth, the teeth of the sewing machine, your fabric should move while sewing. All what you need to do is to control it. You can see that when I didn't control it, it was able to sew a curved. But if I want a straight line, I will be guiding it. I am only using my hand to guide. Do you understand? Now, I believe if you watch this video over and over again, you will be able to thread your sewing machine. You would have known some of the parts of the sewing machine, and you will be able to start making practicals yourself. Another advice I want to give you is this: if you're a beginner, don't rush yourself as you really want to sew. Do you understand? Please take your time. Get a sewing machine. After getting a sewing machine, get a plain material like this. You can get calico materials. Do you understand? Get a calico material or plain material. Plain material allows you to see your stitch clearly. So if you use Ankara material, the design of the Ankara will not really allow the stitch to show. You won't be able to see the stitch very well. So get a plain material. You can get lining if you really want to start practical. So all what you need to do is to use your pencil to draw a straight line. All these things that I'm teaching you, I teach my physical students. So now, if you want to start sewing, I will advise you not to rush yourself. See, I know that you have a lot on your mind. You really want to start sewing complicated styles and all that. You want to start sewing for yourself, your family members, your children, your friends and families, and you really want to start sewing so that you can make money. But one thing at a time, please, one thing at a time. Don't rush yourself. If you rush yourself, you will be overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, there's nothing you can do. I'm serious. You'll be overwhelmed, and when you're overwhelmed, there's nothing you can do. So the very first thing to do, if you're a beginner and you've gotten your sewing machine, is for you to get a plain material. You can get calico material. You can get any plain material. Like this one is very, very expensive. Calico material is around 300 naira, 350. It's not that expensive. You understand? Per yard. So get that material. Rule a straight line. Use your pen to rule a straight line. Not pen, no, pencil. Please, not pen, pencil. Rule a straight line with the help of your ruler. Rule a straight line with like 5 or 10 lines. Do you understand? Now take it to your sewing machine and start sewing that straight line. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Start sewing. The moment you can control a sewing machine, remember that if you get a sewing machine newly, you cannot control it. All what you need to do is to learn how to peddle first. Your stitch, your leg has to be balanced on the sewing machine. If your leg is not balanced on the sewing machine, there's nothing you can do. If your leg is not balanced on the sewing machine, there's nothing you can do. So after when your leg is balanced on the sewing machine, that you can control the sewing machine. See, sewing machine can control you if you're a beginner. I'm serious. So, but if you can control the sewing machine now, all what you need to do is to get plain material, get calico material, rule straight lines, like 10 or 5, depending on how fast, maybe you're a fast learner, depending on how fast you are. Rule a straight line. After ruling the straight line, take it to your sewing machine. Now be tracing that line. That is how to know that you have started sewing. Be tracing that line, sew it all the way from the top to the bottom, from the top to the bottom. If you sew like 10 of it a day, tomorrow you do another thing. Just get yourself prepared. Do you understand? After when you've done a straight line that you are fine with it, do another shape, maybe 4 corner, that is a square. You can do a square, you can do a rectangle, triangle. This is triangle. You can do triangle, you can do circle, you can do zigzag, you can do a curve. You need to do a curve, you need to do zigzag, because there will be a part whereby you will need to start sewing a curved part. For example, if I want to work with my neckline, I want to sew my neckline, the straight stitches will not work in that part. Straight line will not work. Do you understand? So I will not be using straight line. So I will not be using straight line. So the techniques I will be using to sew a circle will be the one that I will be using to sew my neckline. The techniques I will be using to sew from waist to hip line is not going to be a straight. So that's the major reason why you need to practice a circular shape. You need to practice a zigzag shape. You need to practice curved shape. Do you understand? So please and please and please and please, if you are better, I will be happy. See, when you are starting to sew, lock up your stitch. So while locking up your stitch is by reversing. Make maybe 4 stitches, 4 or 3 stitches, then you reverse. So you've locked up your stitch. If you don't do that, your will be losing. After when you are done sewing that you think that you are fine, your stitch will now be losing. Do you understand? And when you start sewing like this and you want to, maybe you are making a what's it called, 4 corner shape, and you really want to move. If you are moving and want to make 4 corner shape, all what you need to do is allow your needle to be inside, then you move your fabric. So I was able to move. I can move anywhere that I want. Then you move it to this side, then you now start sewing again. If I did not allow my needle to be inside, I can miss my stitch line. This is the stitch line I'm following. If I just raise this presser foot up now, and I move my fabric, it's not possible. I'm not a witch. I will miss that stitch line. Do you understand? So it is always nice, if you want to move your fabric, allow your needle to be inside, then you raise your what's it called, up foot lifter, presser foot lifter, then you do what? Release it back, then you now start sewing. You won't be able to, you can see that it's very, very straight. Please and please share this video if you have watched and you have benefited one thing or the other from it. So if you have watched this video and you've benefited from it, share this video for your family and friends, especially those that really need this service. I remain Abigail from my brother Apparel. Please give me a thumbs up, like my videos, share, comments, send me another topic that you really want me to take. You can see that I'm taking it bit by bit. I really want to follow up on beginners, because I have seen a lot of beginners. People say that I can sew, I can do this, but they don't know practical thing, that is foundational knowledge about this fashion. And if your knowledge, if the foundation is not that deep, the foundational part is not really deep, I'm serious, there's nowhere you're going. You're not going anywhere. Do you understand? So watch this video, send it to your family and friends. And if they have any other topic you want me to tackle, send it to the comment section. I will look into it and I will be back to show you how it's being done. I remain Abigail from Abirado Apparel. We have paid classes. If you are interested in our paid classes, we have different classes available. We have fashion school. We are located at number 21 Progress College Road, New Okoba, Abule Egba, Lagos. So we have online classes. We have beginner, intermediate, advanced. We have men casual. If you want to know everything about men wears, we have it as well. We teach dancing. We teach different types, as in we diversify in different types of topics in that particular class. We have corset class as well. We have trouser and jumpsuit class. We have different types of. If you want to join my online class, please put I'll drop the link in the comment section for you guys to know how to contact me. I will be back to show you the next topic, to show you and to tell you what will be my next topic. I remain Abigail from my brother Apparel. Be good. Bye. Please don't go. Subscribe to my channel. That's my take off for you now. Subscribe to my channel. I remain Abigail from my brother Apparel. Be good. Bye.